And there was some new stuff in here that they did not talk about in 2019 Toy Fair reveals.
It's a very great, this is a very great
What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to Life of Cletus. Today, I want to go over the actual Funko Catalog for 2019 that I was able to get from Toy Fair yesterday at the Funko booth. I got a bunch of other catalogs as well from a few different other spots that you may be interested. Bandai, Mezco, yeah. So in this book here, there's actually some actual items that have not been actually posted by Funko, but they're in this book. Does it mean that Funko is actually going to make them? Maybe not, but it's in the book, and I wanted to share that with you. Last year, I went to New York Toy Fair, and I picked up two of these books. One we did a giveaway on, and one I got signed by Brian Mariotti. I was able to get Top Pops in to go speak with Brian Mariotti, and he had a good time. His book is signed, so when he posts his little video up, check it out. He has his little signature on there, which is pretty cool. On the front of this book, as you can see, it says Funko 2019 Catalog. It has some Fortnite Pops. It has an actual figure that Funko actually makes, the action figure of the that awesome Pickle Rick scene. I actually have that figure. And then they show some of the other stuff. They have the 5-star at the movie moments, some bite-sized heroes. You can see the real wave here for Funko was always Fortnite. So opening up, they got some of their lounge fly items that they got going on here. Some of the stuff is very high quality stuff. I bought Punky some stuff from New York Comic Con. This stuff is by far the best. Introducing Pop Town. Up here on the top, they have some figures that I was very interested in, and I'm going to talk about them when we get into the actual videos that I'll be posting up. Right now, this would be the easiest one for me to share with you, so I went with this first. This right here, right now, is actually on Amazon. I seen Pop Curated or Funko Finders post about it for like $15.99. It's usually it's going to be a $30 item. These things look really good in person. I really like the SpongeBob one. The Scooby-Doo house, that wasn't out yet, but they did have this out, and they had the SpongeBob little pineapple out, which was cool. I also was mentioned either from Top Pops or someone, I think it was Top Pops, who said that they're actually going to keep building on this series, so you actually can make your own diorama. Over here we got some Pez's. Not a big Pez guy, but as many of you guys know, Brian is. There's some Marvel stuff, some Hanna-Barbera stuff. We didn't get too many Disney things actually introduced to us for the New York Toy Fair, but they have a bunch of Pez's coming out, and they are not kidding. You got some Disney and Pixar Wreck-It Ralph. You got some Masters of the Universe Caddyshack down here, which is pretty funny with the little golfer. We got the Ghostbusters, Star Wars, Ad Icons, Pez Icons. We got some actual Pocket Pop keychains, which is something we've seen before, but we got some, I think, these new ones with these, the Pongo and Purdy figures. Down here we got some 2-pack mini vinyls. I like these. It's just like the bigger vinyl. I really like those. And over here, as we've seen in the past, some of their action figures that are currently out on the market. Now up here, we did get to see Crypto, the super dog. He was out on display. And some of the other ones were too. This wasn't out. I think the Master of the Universe one was out though, which was it was a really big. It reminded me of the same exact one that we had as, or my brother had as a kid. There was some Harry Potter stuff. We did see these get released in 2018. Same thing with here. We got the Incredibles 2. We got the Little Mermaid stuff. They look cute. They're good. The one thing I did notice though, And for all those people who hated on me during fun days when I said, you know, on the Wednesday we get the Dorbs and we kick ourselves when it's a Dorb release. And the one thing you noticed here was there was no Dorb releases for 2019 Toy Fair. There was a sign, but that was about it. We have some more of these five-star figures. Uh, it's funny to see like these kind of evil figures in person that are actually not kind of a villain kind of concept. Some Fortnite five-star figures. They had a whole section for Fortnite stuff. Five-star was on there. Pint Size Hero, everything you could possibly think of as a Funko product was in this right here. We got some Kingdom of Hearts, DC Universe, Nightmare Before Christmas. These were out on display, and these were the only My Hero Academia stuff that was actually out on display. Fallout, uh, five five-star figs. Same thing with this entire series. These looked really good. I would say before I even get into my next video, the biggest display and was the actual Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters was definitely the biggest one. And Pop Curator actually messaged me or commented on one of my videos, wait till you get the Ghostbusters. Yeah, he was not kidding. We got some horror stuff. We got some rock candies here with Disney's Mary Poppins Returns and the Marvel Dark Phoenix, Harry Potter, excuse me, Fantastic Beasts 2. Scrolling up on this page, we got a bunch of rock candies with Game of Thrones, Betty Boop, Doctor Who, looks really good. I really like that one, and the Betty Boop one too. Looks nice. We got Wreck-It Ralph 2, and then we have some more of the Disney princesses. There wasn't too much Star Wars stuff on display. I don't even think I even recorded any because it was stuff that was currently out. And then over here we have our vinyls. We got some Disney stuff, some stuff that we have already seen before. There's some Fallout stuff. There's some more Fortnite. Fortnite was definitely one of the big themes there. Once again, Game of Thrones, Kingdom of Hearts stuff. Vinyl is something that they must have been doing very well in 2018 because as you can see how many pages we're getting here with all the series, all the genres that we went through, and more of them hitting them up right here. They're Fortnite, Pint Size Heroes. They were really into these. These I don't know how they sell at the cons, but I know these here, these keychain ones, the Fugitive Toy Booth has lines the entire time selling just the keychains. The younger kids and their moms love picking them up. Here's your wave of majority of all of the newer Fortnite Pops. You got them here on the left. Uh, I'm waiting to see some exclusives of these. Seeing some glow in the dark ones probably going to come out soon. We got some plushes on the bottom here as well from Stranger Things. Stranger Things ornaments we have up top here. We got some movie moments on the bottom. We have the last wave of the Stranger Things Funko Pops. Going around here, we have the older wave that's still currently out. I thought these were going to get retired at one point, but then they remade them, which they were good because they came with two themes with the Ghostbusters and the series. This Mike, I actually have the prototype that I actually pulled from my first time at the Funko headquarters for that private event. That was my pull. Man, so many people messaged me for that. We got some Pennywise action figure stuff, some 3-pack stuff. They're going on down here. More of the Pennywise Funko Pops. Be careful if you're going out there trying to pick some of these up for a value. If you thought about picking up multiple of these are going to still be currently on the market, and same thing with these. So I don't see there being a big push for them in the future because of, if you guys know my Funko theory. Five Nights of Freddy was actually the biggest ones that they had last year that they were pushing the hardest for kids. This year was the Fortnite. Last year was the Five Nights of Freddy. They didn't have as big a display that they did last year, but this year was all Fortnite. But again, this was like the priority of their whole theme last year. Same thing with these Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty last year, because they have that master set license, they can actually make whatever they actually really want. They didn't get too much of an upgrade. They didn't have the new Pops out on display. It was mostly of all the older stuff. This Pickle Rick action figure, I've seen it actually for $10 now. If you can pick that up, you should go right ahead. It's pretty fun, and it's pretty good for a $10 action figure that you can swipe out and switch heads and display them a little bit differently. More Rick and Morty stuff going through here, going through all their little lines of characters. Some of them, I have some of, definitely. I have basically all the exclusives from Rick and Morty. I do like that series, and Punky watches it like no other. We got some Cuphead. Cuphead wasn't that popular this time around at all. We got some of the older figures. You got the Chase on this one. And here it is right here, coming in 2019. Stuff that they did not actually share with us. We got the Frozen 2. We didn't get to see any Avengers Endgame. No actual like official name for the Star Wars. We got, I can't believe there's another It 2 coming. Uh-oh, not my cup of tea. I don't like scary movies. We have the Aladdin, which we didn't get too much information or any information on for the motion picture of Will Smith as Genie. We have a Artemis Fowl. I'm not sure what that is. But then we have the Star Wars TV show coming out with the Mandalorians. I'm excited for that series. I'm definitely going to see who's going to do it better. Man, this one's going to be a tough one. Because if Hot Toys gets this, oh man, I'm going to go for it. But if Funko's only going for it, I'm definitely going to pick up the entire set. We got Fallout 76. We got the new Men in Black. Missing Link. These were all, like I said, none of this stuff here was actually mentioned in the Toy Fair. Because they really don't have anything they can post on it. And we all know how some of these companies are. They want to keep everything tip-top shape. I know that they're not allowed to post any more Captain Marvel stuff. So this is some new stuff here. This was on out. So I didn't see no Dumbo stuff actually on display. But this was out on display. This is going to be a 7-pack. And I heard it already sold out everywhere from when I was talking to the executives at Toy Fair. You got the InSync Pops. They were not on display at all. Johnny Cash was not on display. These guys, the Migos, was not on this display. The Backstreet Boys were not on display. But the Kiss Pops were. Post Malone was. The Office Pops were not on display. My favorite thing that I mentioned to many people when I was there was this right here, the Catman figure, because of the Kiss drum set. I can't wait to just take that drum set. You can paint that over and put whatever you want on it, or just paint it white to go with your customs, or go with your Metallica drummer Lars. We got the Billions. I wasn't too familiar with the TV show. Some people have left comments on the thing. Just because I don't know stuff about your damn show, or I don't have interest in it, doesn't make me a piece of you-know-what. The Addams Family, these guys were on display. This was actually based off the TV show, not the actual movie. I thought it was based off the movie originally because of Uncle Gomez Addams with that sword, because I remember him playing in that one scene with the sword fight. Big Bang Theory was on display. I'm not too interested in it, but I've seen them. They look very good. Dawson Creek wasn't on display. Cheers wasn't on display. The Community Pops were on display, and they were actually made out of ceramics. The vinyls were not actually out yet. I actually go on Top Pops' channel and actually talk about that, what they actually are. So go follow him. He'll probably post that video up soon. Hercules, Xena, and these Thunderbirds, I don't remember seeing them. The Steve Stanford and Son, whew, there was more fans of this than I could ever dream of. I guess they never had figures or anything for them. Everybody was going wild for them at the booth. The Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, I don't think I saw them on display. The Fairy Tale, I don't think I saw them either. Or the the yo-yo. I'm not going to go with Japanese hammer talk line here. Castlevania, I think those were out, but when I've gone to these actual shows, the best stuff is actually in these two spots, and one of the spots actually had these guys here. My personal favorite, The Simpsons. When you hear me talk about it in the video of everything, you're gonna see me talk about these characters, these Simpson ones, which were these actually. I think that Betty Boop was out. These other two were not out yet on display. I don't even know if they're out in person. I don't even think Funko actually mentioned them in the blog unless they already were out already. So, because I remember doing the Betty Boop, it was only this one here. The pushings, they were all out. These were not out. The Garfields were not out. I'm definitely going to pick up the Garfield ones for sure. I like when it's nice, quick little line like that. It's easy, and even my brother wanted to get a set of these Simpsons ones. If you're a Ghostbuster fan right now, 2019 is all for you. They got everything. They pushed these Ghostbusters very hard. I know they got a film coming out, and they used it to their advantage. They had some movie moments. The Slimer with Hot Dog. They were the colors, the way they're translucent, but they're kind of glowing kind of thing going on. Looked really good. I don't think this was out on display, but this movie moments, these guys. I don't think Stay Puff was actually out, but they had some Jaws characters out over here. They had them as the ceramic prototypes. This thing probably weighed maybe 3 or 4 pounds. It was so heavy. You got the other characters. Hellboy, I don't remember seeing him in the newer section. He might have been on the older section because they kind of mixed in the characters like this one here. He was from Pet Cemetery. He was actually mixed in with the horror characters, but with the older stuff. So if you really weren't up to date, you would have never really saw that if you went to the toy fair. Max and Comb, we got the Secret Life of Pets. Looked really good. I don't know if this one was out, but this one was, and it looked really good. I liked it a lot. We got the new Men in Black wave. They were not out, but these are the most three important characters of the entire like film, which was very important if you ever watched it. Caddyshack was out. Those looked really good. Loving the little golf thing they got going on. Beverly Hills Cop I did not see as well. Cemetery, like I mentioned, they were out. I didn't see the Super Troopers. Pretty Woman, I didn't see them either. Forrest Gump, I did not see those guys as well. Those would have been a good one for them to have out for this year for sure because everybody knows that film. These guys were all out. These were looking, the same as last year and different jerseys. So if they went home, they went away. Now this here was in person. I believe this top row was out on display. Maybe not the Blue Jays, but these original ones were out. They were painted. I love them. The only difference is that they got from home and away uniforms. It's a big series, the big wave. I know a lot of Funko YouTubers who actually go after this line. Is definitely going to be a great addition. Me personally, this is one of those things in rare moments where I'm like, oh, great. We're getting some new characters that have this that I don't have, and I don't really care for the other ones because now I can get these at retail. There's 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 new characters for the wave. Woo! I get the OG set, and then I'll pick up maybe a few other ones. Some of these definitely should have been flocked. Billy the Marlin should have been metallic. So hopefully we'll see if they change it up in the future. Now the NASCAR ones, they were on display. They didn't get that much attention. I can see when they maybe can do a pop ride with them, but make them as if they were going to do it like the Ghostbuster one. Hold on one sec. They can do it to scale like this. And if Funko can get this into scale, I would love that. with the actual vehicle, like not having it fit in it. Me and Top Pops were talking, what scale are they going for this? Is it just like, it's not like a 1/6 scale, a 1/12 scale. What scale are they going for? 1/24? I don't know. I would just like rather have all of the actual diorama parts in scale with this. Not worry about the pop, but in scale with this. That would be great. Same thing with these NASCARs. That would be really good. And put it in that Thanos on the throne box. Whew, I'm getting some fire out of here. Two personal favorites of everybody that they stopped and did something for was the Muhammad Ali Funko Pop with that pose, and then the Babe Ruth. They were right next to each other. Hallelujah. Coming up, as we all know, Funko is in Seattle, so they always have their favorite characters that they sometimes even make Hall of Famers who aren't Hall of Famers into them, going with the popularity over there. Pretty cool. We also have the Jolly Green Giant and Sprout. This should have been like a 2-pack. They were out on display. The ad icons, they're pretty cool. Alexander the Grape. I did not see him, or Kool-Aid Man. This right here, the Sour Patch Kids, Top Pop's like, you gotta feel these things. I never felt them before. They actually feel like a Sour Patch. They were pretty cool. Jim Henson was not on display. There's supposed to be a Funko Shop exclusive of him. Going into some of these Spider-Man ones, we got Spider-Man, the superhero, the actual Far From Home series. Some new Spider-Man pops, new poses. They look good. I'm glad they went from a whole new theme than what they used to. Captain Marvel ones, which we've seen already. And then we got some more Marvel stuff that we've already seen throughout the past year in 2018. On display, they did have some Star Wars stuff that is currently out that I have not picked up, and I guess I'm gonna have to pick them up. I try to talk myself out of it. I just can't do it, man. I just can't do it. They know what they're doing though, because they know if they can throw in some older stuff, throw in some recent stuff, throw in the new Clone Wars film that's gonna be coming out, the new show's coming out, making a way back, and the OG stuff. They were pretty good, and they did showcase this Princess Leia on their display. We got some DC stuff. Some of these Batmans were actually out on display. They looked all right. The box art on one of them was pretty cool. I think it was this Batman 1939. Going down, we got some Fantastic Beasts 2. We already seen all that. Fantastic Beasts 2. We got some more Harry Potter stuff. More Harry Potter. Harry Potter, My Little Mermaid, or The Little Mermaid. Seen all that stuff. This is the first like official, I guess, 10-inch. They didn't talk about that too much, or I didn't look for it too much at all, but they definitely didn't have that on display. Some of the newer wave of the Toy Story line, definitely want to get those. The Mickey Mouse actual figures, some older and newer Disney Aladdin. We got some Simba, the Lion King. The Incredibles 2. We've seen some of these tailspins. So this is all the stuff that they have out. We got some Wreck-It Ralph 2, Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. Basically everything that we already have out. They did showcase all these rock and roll guys. They had the Britney Spears out on display coming, I think, next month to all the stores. Modern Family was out there. I know my brother's into that. Bewitched wasn't. I didn't see those. The Handmaid's Tale, I'm not sure what that was. Some of these, they could have been on display, but I did not see them. Like these Bewitched ones. They might have been out. I just wasn't looking for them. Because if they mixed them in between these series of the older stuff and new stuff, I wasn't too focused on the older stuff. So I might have missed out on them. You got your new Friends wave. Brady Bunch wave was out. Money Heist, Saturday Night Live. They didn't push on that as much as they did with the other series. You got Knight Rider, Carmen Sandiego, the Jeffersons. Yeah, their booth is probably the biggest booth out there. The only sign that was actually bigger than them this time was around was actually a Lego. Usually you go to these the con, Funko has the biggest sign that you could possibly ever see. We got some ad icons. The peeps were out. I like them. I like these little ones. Seeing them in person gave me a different, perspective on. Maybe I would actually pick those up for some themes for Easter, just to have like I do with my Christmas stuff. You got the royal family. These Game of Thrones were out on display. Me and Top Pops were a little agreeing or disagreeing on their pop sizes of the chair. I thought the chair looked smaller and fitting the character on the actual throne. I thought they were smaller. I don't know, man. I thought they were smaller. He says they're bigger. We'll see how it goes. I don't know, man. I feel like they were smaller, but they might even be the same size. Who knows? They did make it so that the pop actually fits on the throne in the collection, which is nice. We have the White Walker. He looked really good. That looked really good. That's probably one of the better Game of Thrones or better top 10 figures that I've actually seen in general. We have the older wave of the Game of Thrones. The these guys were out too. I don't know if I actually got video of the Raditz. Raditz broke. His head fell off and broke because some of these, like I mentioned, are in ceramic form. I'm not going to be picking up the newest wave as of some of these characters. I definitely like, though, in person, we got the King Kai and Yamcha. I'm not going to pick up this Goku. I like these two. Nappa and Raditz. Man, I wish there was 6-inch characters because they would have looked so much better as 6-inch. But hey, maybe we'll get it down the road. Vegeta, he was a actual ceramic as well. Frieza looked cool. Kid Buu looked good. Those guys were all on display in their own section. They did not include like the newer or newest wave that's currently on the market in with them. These guys had like their own little section, I believe. I think so. This is the older wave we got going on here. We got some more Dragon Ball Super stuff. These guys were out on their own display as well. Tokyo Ghoul, anime stuff, My Hero Academia, Full Metal. These guys were all out. Majority of these were, I believe these were all out in the anime section, which leads into the Overwatch. They had the older wave out. There wasn't nothing new for them. Kingdom of Hearts as well. The series is out. The game is out at least. Going into more of these video games, I didn't see anything new that was actually out on display, but I think a few companies are still pushing this Crash Bandicoot figure line. Same thing with the Gears of War. I've seen the Mezco ones. Now we got more of these video game ones. This, I don't know what it is. I like Spyro, man. I got to pick that one up for sure. We got some art done. I don't think these are actually pop pictures. I think this is just animated art that they put together for the new Scooby-Doo wave. Coming in more into the Betty Boop. Like I mentioned, I did get to see the one. These guys actually weren't part of that Betty Boop line. I didn't see the Arnold Pops out. I don't remember. I'm not sure, but I do remember these guys. This was a ceramic, and this was a ceramic, and we were too scared to touch him because we thought he was going to fall over. Those are another top wave for me. And we got more of these cartoons going on here. More cartoons. We got the Sandlot, some Office Space. They were out on display. I think there's a newer wave. I don't know if it was, this wave wasn't, but I think the newer wave was. Romeo and Juliet was out. Rudy wasn't, I don't think. Wayne's World, he's another one. Remember I mentioned about that drum set? You put that drum set in front of him. Looked really good. I've seen Rudy in store actually recently too. Some Lord of the Rings stuff. Jurassic World 2. More little TV shows, some movies. Zoolander, they were out on display. These holiday ones all were out for sure, especially the Star Wars holiday ones. I like the SpongeBob ones. I don't think I've seen those out. They're very, they only picked a few ones to actually put out on display. The basketball ones, I don't think they were out. I think the Jordans were, for sure. These baseball ones, they went with the older ones. If you guys go back to the other part of the baseball ones, these ones already actually are out already. The Premier League was not out. These guys were not out as well. Now onto the football ones. Some of these were on display for sure. I believe like this wave here. I don't think about the Hall of Fame, but I think this wave. Oh no, some of the Hall of Fame ones. I remember seeing Dion out as well on display from them, which was nice. WWE, they had the newest wave sitting up there. Some of them were ceramics. The Batista one is a little iffy on. They still had the Rock out, so that chase is going to be around for quite a while. More WWE. These UFC Pops, whoo! I love the sculpts. I love them. I'm going to pick all three of them up. I'm not the biggest UFC fan, but I just want to have those guys in my collection just because the sculpts of them did such a great job. So you got some pint-sized heroes here. This is basically the end of this entire little packet that we got picked up. Funko's did change up this a little bit, changes up the colors, and we got some pint-sized hero display basically coming out officially this year, and then finishing up with the lounge fly and more of the characters that are currently out or going to be out in 2019. Hope you guys like the 2019 Funko catalog. I never actually did a review of the catalog of 2018, and before I get into all my videos, I wanted to show you guys this. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you guys are going to think of what 2019 is most impressive. And there was some new stuff in here that they did not talk about in 2019 Toy Fair reveals. They did not mention any of these guys at all, which is most of these series we're definitely going to be interested in, for sure. In the Rick and Morty line was the other... Let me get over there. And these ones here were not mentioned at all by Funko during their reveals, with the action figures coming for the Rick and Morty line with Noob, Supernova, Alan Rails, Millions, Vance, and you have your collector all 5 build your own Crocobot figure. So you got a buildable figure here that they did not mention at all. This right here, the Hand's Tail, I'm not too sure about it, but this was not mentioned at all. This is June. They don't have an actual reveal of it, and it says subject to change approval for license approval on the bottom there. And there was one more that was not revealed, and it's actually in this book. Yep. The Thunderbirds. This was the other one that did not get mentioned. Not too familiar with it, but it's all part of this coming soon kind of wave. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed this little review of the Funko Catalog 2019. Be on the lookout for the other videos I'm going to post. Not just Funko stuff. We got the Mezco and Bandai booth. NECA as well. See you here next time.